Hello and welcome to this video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to draw wreaths 5 ways. Now, even if I'm going to be drawing a wreath, sometimes I want to prepare a circle. So all I've done is used a lid of a container and I've drawn around it, but I've drawn around it in pencil because I want my wreaths to look hand-drawn. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to ink over the pencil lines. And if I ink over the pencil lines and don't take too much care in doing it, it's still going to have a hand-drawn look, but I've got something that sort of approximates a circle to start off with. So I like to do it that way, and then when I'm finished and everything's nice and dry, then I'll erase my pencil marks. So we're going to have a look at drawing wreaths 5 ways, and the first way is this one. I'm just going to show you what it's going to look like. It's going to be a little loop, and then it's going to be a stick with a sort of squiggle on the end. This is a really cool little design. So what we're going to do is start off down here, sort of about the middle of the bottom of the wreath, and we're going to do our first little design. And then we're going to do it on the other side, and we're just going to alternate these. So I'm going to do my loopy bit and then my stick with a squiggle on it. Oops. So you can even talk to yourself as you do this and go loopy bit, squiggle, and then loopy bit and a stick with a squiggle. Loopy bit, stick with a squiggle. And on the end, we're left with a pointy bit, so we'll probably want to think about what we want to do here. I like to just finish off with a final element. You could just make it a squiggle, or you could make it the loopy bit and the stick. So we're going to come around this side and work on this side. If you need to, place a piece of paper over the work that you've already done so you don't smudge it as you go. For balance, I'm going to make this inside shape first. So it's going to look sort of even across the bottom of the wreath. You know, these wreaths don't have to be really super neat. It's still going to look really good even if you don't take a heap of care with it. I'm just going to finish off. I'm going to extend the wreath out a little bit here so I can finish off with my stick and a loopy bit at the end. So there's the first one of our wreaths. Now let's have a look at the second one. This is just loopy bits. So this one's going to be a big loopy bit and a little loopy bit, sort of like half of a butterfly. You might want to think, and you may even want to practice this one to see which order the loopy bits work with best. So quite often what I'll do is I'll bring in a sheet of paper that I'll practice on. And so you can see I've already done a bit of practice for today's video. So I'm going to see if a big loop and a little loop is going to work better than a little loop and a big loop. And I'm just thinking about which way I want to draw it. And I think the big loop and then the little loop is going to work best for me. So let's see how we do that. So again, I'm going to start around the middle bottom of my shape, and I'm going to do my big loop and then my little. And this one's going to be offset. So I'm going to do it offset from each other all the way around, because the alternative is to pair them, and that gives you just a different look. I'm finding it a bit harder to do the inside ones than the outside ones. They don't seem to be going quite as smoothly. And then I did a little and then a big. So you may even want to use these as practice for pen control, which is a really good idea. Just think about little loop, big loop, talk to yourself as you go along and see which you like best, or just use it as practice for being able to do both of them. Now at the end here, I'm going to do 3 loops. 2 little ones and a big. Now I'm going to come around this other side. Again, you'll probably want to put some paper over this so you don't smudge it. And I'm going to start about here, and I'm going to mirror this one. So I'm going to do my big loop and my little loop. I'm going to continue around here big and little. When I get to the end, I'm going to do my 3 loops. You can see I've smudged it just a little bit there. It's not really a big deal. So let's have a look at this one. For this one, we're going to do 2 loops. So we're going to do a big one and a little on the inside, and then immediately opposite, we're going to do it like that. So it's going to be paired all the way along. Let's ink in the edge of the wreath, and then let's get started drawing. So we're going to do pairs here. So I'm going to start about here with a little and a big, and then a little and a big. And then when I get to top, I'm going to do the same top as I did on the previous one, because I just think it looks really good as a sort of balanced finished top. And of course then I'm going to turn it around, block out the area here so that I don't smudge it, and go and do the other half. I think I need another one here. And there we have our 3rd wreath. Let's ink in our 4th wreath, and let's have a look and see what we're going to do. Here we're going to do something that's sort of a bit like a combination. We're going to do this. And so the line of our wreath is going to come down here. So we're going to make these pairs all the way up the side of our wreath. So I'm going to start sort of just off the middle here. And at the top, I'm just going to do 2 leaves and a stick. So let's come around the other side. And I'm hoping in the comments below that you'll let me know which of these was your favourite wreath design. Some of them you'll find go faster than others just because you really like the wreath design that you're using. And I'm really liking this one. This is sort of, it's really pretty quick for me to do, and I don't need to think about it too much, so it's got this sort of really organic feel to it. I think I'll do another one here. Let's just finish with the end one. And now we're on to our last one. And this is a really, really nice wreath. I really like doing this one. So let's see what it's going to look like. It's just this all the way up. It looks like a pear, but we're actually going to do it on one side first. So I'm going to start pretty near to the bottom middle here, and I'm going to make my loop. And I'm going to make the next loop, and I find it easier to go along the side of the wreath to make this and then come back. But you might find it easier to go out and come back, and it's really a matter of personal preference as to whether you draw it along the wreath and out, or whether you go out and come back. You're going to go all the way around the wreath doing this. And at the top, you're just going to do a finishing one that's sort of over the edge of the wreath. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the inside. And you can try and pair these up as you go so that you do these exactly opposite each other. And even though this one's a little bit on the time-consuming side because you're going up and down both sides of the wreath, I think it's a really pretty wreath design. I think you'll be really happy with this. So let's just go and finish it off. And again, you're going to put some paper or something over here so you don't smudge it, particularly with this one. I think I'm going to do one final set going in this direction, and now I'm going to head in the other direction. Oops. We're finishing at the top with one that's over the actual line of the wreath, and then we're going to go back and come around the outside with a second set. And I'm just going to try and match these going along so that I have sort of two leaves either side of the wreath that sort of match up. Oops. So there are 5 really fun wreath designs for you. They're all pretty quick, and all I'm going to do to finish these off is just to erase over the pencil lines so they all look like really, really beautiful hand-drawn wreaths. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and click to subscribe. Until next time, I'm Helen Bradley. Happy drawing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.